Police and Australia's domestic spy agency are investigating a fringe anti-Islamic group waging a hate campaign against Australian Muslims. The Australian Defence League has been following and photographing Muslim women on public transport, displaying anti-Islamic posters outside mosques and filming at Muslim schools and posting the videos online. The League, which incites its followers to violence, is led by a former soldier who claims to have support from within the Defence Force. His group has only a few paid members but an unknown number of followers. The campaign has fuelled a backlash, with police investigating death threats and an apparent attempted murder. Sean Rubenstein Dunlop has been investigating the Australian Defence League and a warning: this report contains some offensive language.
ADL.
This is the Australian Defence League in action, waging a vicious hate campaign against Muslims on the streets of Sydney.
Muslim for life! Muslim for life! Pedophiles for life! Pedophiles, mate! This is our country, mate!
We are not a hate group, but we are a group that does hate Islam. Period.
We have Muslims gang raping, killing a father and mother for an unpaid bill just the other day, molesting 7 girls in one day, multiple wives, female genital mutilation, spreading their disgust for our country and our government.
The Australian Defence League is a far-right anti-Islamic group set up in 2009. It's a registered not-for-profit organisation.
No Sharia, no!
Its mission is to have Islam banned in Australia.
Hello everyone, I am the President of the ADL, the Australian Defence League. I'm also an ex-soldier in the Australian Army.
Ralph Sermonara has been the Australian Defence League's national president for more than 3 years.
Oh, she saw us, mate.
He's been visiting mosques to put up anti-Islamic posters, ratcheting up tensions with the Muslim community with his poisonous rhetoric.
I'll put this one here. Hey? Piss off before I kill you. Go on. Piss off before I kill me. You got this, mate?
So we're not out there going after Muslims with pitchforks and things like that.
But you are going after Muslims individually?
Well, of course. They're coming after us. They're raping our children. They're raping our families. They are now in the West. It's pretty much a crime capital of Sydney. And we all know what's going on down there.
Ralph Sermonara uses social media to campaign against the country's Muslims. This was recently posted on Facebook.
I'm calling for the end of Islam in our country and hopefully the world. If Muslims have to die, then so be it. It's us against them.
And Ralph Sermonara made this call to action to more than 12,000 followers.
Do you have bed sheets walking around in your community? Do you know what is under that sheet? Take photos wherever you are and send them to us.
We've encouraged the public to actually take photos of people in public areas where it's legally you're allowed to take it.
The Australian Defence League has been stalking Muslim women on public transport.
I was on my way to work, as I usually do.
This mother of 3 was on the morning train in Sydney just over a fortnight ago when she was secretly photographed by an Australian Defence League member. She had no idea what had happened until she got to work. She's still so scared she'll only speak to us anonymously.
My friend called to warn me that my picture was up on the ADL Facebook page. As soon as I saw the picture, I went into shock.
The picture was accompanied by this caption.
Are you having problems getting a man? Then join Islam, taking the world's rejects, pedophiles and weak-minded people for thousands of years.
It provoked vile comments on the Australian Defence League Facebook page. Fearful for her safety, the woman turned to Maha Abdo from the Muslim Women's Association.
Why are they attacking women? Why are they taking photos without their consent? Whether it is racism or it is not, it's not about that anymore. It's about the effect of their words and their reaction on normal, average people.
The woman is now on stress leave.
When I'm alone, I have panic attacks. I need to, see a counsellor and work through my fears to see if I can, go back on a train and get over this.
Ralph Sermonara is unapologetic about targeting Muslim women.
They are putting that hijab on themselves, the same as a person would be putting up a satanic star around their neck. We know what they stand for by putting that on.
So they deserve to be ridiculed online?
Well, in a public forum. If that's the way it has to happen, well, then so be it.
In the videos it makes, the Australian Defence League boasts of strong support from within the Defence Force, including amongst naval officers in Operation Sovereign Borders. This song by an ADL member is called Border Patrol. It's a violent call to arms against Muslims and asylum seekers.
We have a huge support from the Defence Force, all the personnel in the Defence Force, I should say. There's a lot of members in the Army that are still, naturally involved with us, and when the time comes, they will be on our side.
Earlier this year, the Navy launched an investigation into the involvement of Navy personnel in the Australian Defence League. This month it announced several sailors had been dismissed for bigoted posts on social media, but it found no serving Navy personnel were ADL members.
This is Australia, not Middle East.
2 months ago, Nathan Abella was made the Australian Defence League's Western Sydney president.
Yes. Ban Islam, eradicate it from Sydney, Australia. Because we don't like Islam in Australia. We don't want to like it. We don't have to. We believe it's against Australian values.
He's been stirring up trouble by handing out anti-Muslim pamphlets at shopping centres.
Australian values. Now, you said we have freedom of speech. This is freedom of speech. Leave it.
Nathan Abella also targeted Australia's biggest Islamic school.
Absolutely ridiculous. Why do you need 10-foot walls outside a school with a security checkpoint for a simple mosque and school? What's going on in there?
Last month, he filmed the Malik Fahad School in Sydney southwest and posted the video on YouTube.
Why do we need 4 mosques in the middle of Sydney with a mosque in it and children like this? So I dare say they're keeping and locking up people inside there because it's a massive...
He was indicating that things might have been going on here, like terrorism. Why somebody would indicate that there was something un-Australian going on behind the walls when all it is one of New South Wales' top schools.
It's so worried Headmaster Ray Barrett that he called the police, who alerted the Counter-Terrorism Command and ASIO.
It was the subsequent Facebook comments that disturbed some people. Comments like, wait until people are inside the mosque and then we'll do an RPG and a C4, and for people my age, I had to Google that to know it's rocket-propelled grenades and plastic explosives and, pretty damaging or insightful stuff.
Students were appalled by the comments about their school.
What did you think about it?
Ridiculous. Yeah.
Stupid?
Terrible. It was very racist.
Yes?
Yes.
And how do you feel about that?
Threatened.
I thought it was really disrespectful of him to start trouble throughout the community.
MMMDO! Woo! Nathan Abella's campaign provoked a series of threats from Muslim activists.
Hey Nathan, you and your other ADL thugs, we will take you on nose to nose.
Some went even further.
Nathan, you're making yourself a clear target for the Muslims out there. If you do not accept Islam as your salvation, There will come a time where Jesus, peace be upon him, he will come back. And when he comes back, there won't be any jizya. It's either you will accept Islam as your salvation, or you will die by the sword.
A few days later, gunshots were fired into Nathan Abella's home.
His hand, but went like this, looked, went like that. Nathan, is that you? Turned around and yes, it is. And just from about here to where the table is, I jumped. And I was bang, 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 fired at.
Where did the bullets go?
I was surprised that it happened, but I was more surprised that it didn't happen sooner. You are going to ban Islam.
Muslim activist Zaki Mallah says the ADL was looking for trouble.
I think everything that Nathan, Abella and Ralph have done has built up to the point where an individual or a group of individuals have taken the laws into their own hand and decided to do something about it.
I'm adamant it's the Islamic community have their hands deep into what happened. They're involved in what happened, definitely.
Nathan Abella claims the ADL is still receiving threats like this one.
The whole clipping you f***ing dog. Do you know who you're f***ing with, you piece of shit?
Who am I f***ing with?
The whole f***ing clip, I'm gonna f***ing put it in you fucking mutt. Watch and see.
Last week, anxious Muslims met with police to demand action against the Australian Defence League.
Why aren't you saying that this is not acceptable in Australian society? The same way that everyone's quick to jump on the barrel as soon as a Muslim person steps out of line.
They are a serious threat to public order and danger to community harmony, and that's why we are here tonight.
It's unacceptable, we will not tolerate it, and we will be there to do something about it.
Senior police say they're taking the conflict seriously.
There is a fairly large investigation going on at the moment in relation to all the stuff they've done on the internet. There's also some legal advice that we need to get, and some of the offences we can't charge until approval is given by the Attorney General's Department, and that will be pursued, obviously.
Police have since laid charges against Nathan Abella, including trespassing and using the internet to menace, harass or offend. Australia's most senior Muslim leader, the Grand Mufti, is urging Muslims not to turn to violence.
لا يأتي لك بحقك وإنما يحولك وأنت المجني عليه يحولك وأنت الضحية إلى متهم ويفتح طرقا للجاني الحقيقي حتى يفلت من العقاب.
He warns the ADL poses an extreme danger.
تريد أن تفجر المجتمع. منظمات تنشأ باسم الدفاع عن استراليا تريد أن تشعل النار في كل استراليا وتتناول أغلى ما لدى الإنسان وهو المعتقدات